This is me, a writer. A book lover who has studied sociology. As you know, if you live in Middle East and your passion is science, you can't earn enough money to live. So, guess what? I choose to be an artist. Ta-da! My third choice would have made me completely rich. No way, girl. This is the sound of my right angel, but don't worry guys, I won't pay attention. I never knew how to live in a society where I could reach my wishes. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. All I want is to be free. Don't worry, this is not a sad video. I'm not complaining. Once upon a time, no, I won't sound like a legendary story. One day I woke up and had an idea. Let's make my world perfect again. I'm the owner of my world. I will do whatever I want. I'm the queen of my own land. Wait a minute. At last you are the master
of my own bladder.
That's the sound of my left angel. Anyway, she's right. But still, I could have built my society. Not everyone is meant to enter this mental society. This is a carefully selected community. Only the chosen ones can join. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my society. The second resident we're welcoming into my society is someone always impeccably dressed with his neatly clothes and a stiff posture. He is very slim and frail, and when I suggested a morning meeting, he immediately declined, said he couldn't wake up early and preferred appointments after 1 p.m. He tends to get lost staring into space, hardly says a word, always deep in his own thoughts. Welcome, sir. You're the second resident I've chosen to accept in my society.
Thank you for accepting. I must say, I'm not much for conversation. I would have preferred to sit quietly in my room.
I know, you used to dodge your friends just to indulge in your favorite pastime thinking. But you did enjoy chatting with young ladies. I promise I'll be just as delightful as Elizabeth or the Queen of Sweden.
I see you're well versed in the art of persuasion.
I'm sharper than I seem. Now, if you allow me, let's move on to building your house. Since you dislike waking up early and prefer warm over cold, I'll design your house elevated from the ground. And since you're fascinated by the reflection of light, we'll pick a color palette inspired by it. How does that sound?
Excellent. I have no objections.
You are truly one of the most valuable thinkers in my mental world. To be honest, perhaps the most important one. I often organize my thoughts using your method, skepticism.
Bravo. We should never be certain of anything. Every new idea must first be examined through doubt. Only after rigorous questioning should we accept it.
Could you explain the method of skepticism a bit more?
Imagine a basket full of apples, some rotten, some fresh. You empty the basket completely, inspect each apple carefully, put the good ones back, and discard the bad ones. Thinking is just like that.
I do that to every few years, especially with the sketchy people around me. You wouldn't believe how messy people have gotten these days.
That's why I chose to live in the Netherlands. I believe the French were too nosy, always poking into everyone's affairs. The Dutch, however, were too busy with trade to bother with a foreigner.
But you still got tricked. ended up having to move 25 times.
Yes, and even got accused of being a spy. As you see, the world hasn't changed much.
No, it hasn't. Tell me a bit about duality.
Just like Elizabeth asked me once.
True, history tells us your correspondence with Princess Elizabeth led you to articulate your theory of dualism. But personally, I think something's missing. Why didn't you ever write that Elizabeth inspired you? Though I guess it's no secret that throughout history, male philosophers often borrowed from women, sometimes even wrote their ideas under their own names.
Elizabeth asked me to discuss the topic, and so I did for her.
It's okay, I'm not here to dig up the past or blame you for the injustices women have faced. The mere fact you believe a philosopher's job was like a therapy, that means a lot to me.
That's why I went to Sweden, to teach the Queen about emotions and passions. But I was never good at waking up early. Even in school, I would start my classes around noon. In Sweden, it was freezing cold, and 5 was the only time the Queen could have lessons. It destroyed me.
I'm sorry to hear that. But what's important is now you live forever in my mind society, in a home you'll never have to leave. Although I still have my doubts about whether any of this is real.
As long as you doubt, it means it exists. Don't forget, doubting itself is proof of existence.
I think, therefore I am, exactly. Maybe this mind society is the most real thing in my life after all. But there is something that keeps bothering me. Why did you never marry?
I couldn't tolerate having someone constantly around me.
But you loved your daughter very much, didn't you? Even though back then society labeled children born out of wedlock as illegitimate, you loved her deeply.
I did. Very much. After her death, I carried a hole of sorrow inside me for the rest of my life.
Tell me honestly, wasn't your decision not to marry because you didn't want to lose your freedom and prefer traveling the world on your daddy's money?
What's your name, Madame?
Avan,
Lavine, I never wanted to rely on my father's wealth. My father never loved me. Even when I wrote my first book, he was upset, thinking what a mistake he had made raising me.
seriously, I don't know why fathers of great minds never seem to love them. What's wrong with these fathers?
Maybe he wanted me to become a judge like he was.
I don't think so. Sometimes parents become parents without ever really understanding what that means. Sir, you're very dignified. Somehow, I don't feel like I can joke around with you. When I talk to you, I just want to stay logical.
Perhaps because I was the same way. Joy wasn't a major part of my life. I believe nothing surpassed mathematics. I tried to formulate everything. Even music, to me, was just another branch of mathematics.
You didn't believe in anything but reason. Maybe that's why you were later named the father of modern philosophy. You didn't even trust the senses, and honestly, I agree with you.
Right. The first impressions from the senses are not reliable. Imagine looking at a stick submerged in water. It appears bent because of light refraction. Thus, you cannot fully trust your senses.
Is it true that you believe everything begins from man, not from God? That must have really pissed people off, which frankly, I find quite amusing.
Back then, religious thought was still dominant. Pascal, more than anyone, was outraged. But it didn't matter. I had to speak the truth.
But you were very cautious, weren't you? Especially after what happened to Galileo.
Yes, poor Galileo, a tragic victim of human ignorance and foolishness. Gavin, could you design another house for me? Maybe place me next to someone like myself? Someone I could occasionally converse with?
I always thought you enjoyed solitude.
Not solitude. Nothing has ever been more terrifying in human history than the feeling of loneliness. I always suffered from the lack of people I could think with. But now, with no restrictions, perhaps I don't have to be alone anymore.
Actually, I know someone very much like you. Give me time until next week to invite him into the society. I'm sure you'll enjoy his company. Your house is ready now. Stay here and rest. No more moving 25 times. This is your house now, Mr. Descartes. Welcome to my society. Our journey has only just begun. Hey guys, thanks for watching me till now. If you want to know who is our next resident, don't forget to subscribe. And also write your comments below and let me know what you think about the Mind Society. See you in the next video.